Tonight we are celebrating 500 years of history, 500 years of schooling here in Skipton. However, the school has not always been the excellent institution that it is today. 500 years inevitably means that there have been ups and downs, high and low points. The school is a microcosm of society. Civil wars, foreign wars, world wars have all had their effect here. The Industrial Revolution, the rise and decline of the British Empire, world power and recession, changing society, changing expectations, all these are reflected in the 500-year history of our school.
A school does not exist in isolation. It is part of the society in which it lives. And this was just as true in the 1400s as it is today. However, the world then was a very different place from what it is now. America had not yet been discovered, and its native inhabitants lived in blissful ignorance of what was to come.
England was in many ways a medieval country, still recovering from the ravages of the Wars of the Roses. The population of the country was only 2.5 million people. The church had tremendous power and authority, and was, of course, the Church of Rome.
Skipton was a well-established market town, with a population of fewer than 3,000 people. There were only 2 access roads, both leading east rather than west. There was no industry, no canal and no railway.
The mass of the people could neither read nor write. There were no schools except for those in monastic houses. Education was left entirely in the hands of the church. The language taught was Latin, not English, which was at that time a despised peasant tongue with no literary credentials. Here is an example of Middle English.
Vade ure, that coach in Hioch Ine, always be thy name. Who made thy richer? Were they thy swore on Hittis on Hioch Ine? Give us today our due omniscient bread, and forgive us our guilt, so we don't hem their guilt harvest. Now lead us not into food anger, our chaos of all us evil. Amen.
The House of Clifford in Skipton Castle had dominated the area for centuries, though by 1492 it was rather subdued, having lost 6 lords through violent death. The present lord, the so-called Shepherd Lord, had taken refuge as a child in the hills of Westland, and had only just regained the estate lost by his father. It was into this world that Peter Toller introduced his school.
Congregate
Why did he do this? Well, a chantry was created by the endowment of a particular altar, usually in the side chapel of a church, at which the priest might chant or sing praise for the soul of its founder. Obviously, the priest couldn't make a living out of this one activity, and so often the instruction of the local boys was undertaken as a sideline, and this was what happened at the chantry school of St Nicholas, founded by Peter Toller. We do not know the exact date of the opening of the chantry, though there are references to its existence in 1475. In other words, we are 517 years old today. We do know, however, that it was an established fact on the 4th of May, 1492, the date of Peter Toller's will. His object in founding the chantry is clearly expressed.
To save my soul, and all Christian souls, and to help to do and maintain divine service in the said choir, and also to keep a grammar school to the children of the same town. In this, my last will and testament, I leave my lands and tenements in Skipton, Addingham, Eastby, Drafton, and Kellyfield, together with a sum of £13, 6 shillings, 8 pence, for ornaments and repairs to the chantry, which I founded in the parish church.
This endowment is a very considerable one, and if the school still owns these lands today, it would be very wealthy indeed.
To John Toller, I give my lands in Nidderdale, Arncliffe, Hawkswick, Kettlewell, and Scottslough. To Linton Church, I give £10. To the Church of Kirby in Mallandale, I give a chalice of value 4 marks. To the Chapel of Coniston, I give 13 shillings, 4 pence. To the Abbey and Convent of Sawley, 10 shillings. To the Flower and Convent of Bolton, 10 shillings.
He was a wealthy and powerful man.
To Peter Benson, chaplain, I give a breviary, a mare with a 2-year-old filly, and a spoon. To Richard Billingdon, I give a mare, a filly, and a spoon.
Finished?
For my funeral expenses, I leave the considerable sum of £12 for general jollifications. And to be buried at Linton. To each of my executors, I give 33 shillings, 4 pence. To Henry Lord Clifford, the Shepherd Lord, who I appoint as my supervisor, I give £10.
Finished?
Finished.
What sort of school was it? An elementary school, it seems, which was based entirely on religious needs, with some formal Latin grammar going side by side with the ABC, the Psalter, some readings of the Bible, as well as chanting and singing. There may also have been instruction in writing, but this was clearly not the main purpose of the school.
To save my soul.
Oh yes, pray for his soul.
And all Christian souls, and to help to do and maintain divine service in the said choir, and also to give a grammar school to the children of the same town.
Toller's chantry school seems to have been successful. There were 120 boys there in 1948, and it may well have continued indefinitely. However, as we said at the beginning, the school does not exist in isolation, and the political events elsewhere are about to take a hand in the affairs of our little school. Europe has been swept by the Reformation. At home, Henry VIII sat on the throne, and now, the Tudors attained the barons, and now, Henry VIII was about to attack the only other rival power in the land, the Church. How this affected the chantry school of Skipton, we shall see.
Oh, sorry, but...
No time for that now. Thomas, I have a conscience. Well, have you nothing to say?
No, Your Majesty.
I have a conscience and something is bothering it. Now get up, man, and take notes. I am King Henry, King of England, and defender of the faith, am I not?
Of course, Your Majesty.
Yes, Thomas More would no doubt have something to say about that, but no matter. I'm God's lieutenant upon earth and sit nearest beneath God's throne. Is that not correct?
That is so, Your Majesty.
The holy souls of the good citizens are my concern, therefore.
No one could dispute that.
Good. Then why am I plagued with these smug, leering priests and these swaggering, pot-bellied monks with their chests dripping in gold? Yeah, the sight of them makes me want to vomit. Who rules the country? Them or me?
I hardly need to say.
Do you know, Thomas, some of them have more money than I have. Not that that's my main complaint. They've abused their power, Thomas. These huge estates. They leech from the land and they extort from the peasantry. My people, Cromwell. Why, a poor yeoman can barely earn enough to keep his family. But the greedy church has to get its share, so that some fat friar can bloat himself on carts. Is something amusing you?
No, Your Majesty. I was really marvelling at the clarity of Your Majesty's thought.
Good. Something must be done about these parasites. I'm waiting for a suggestion.
Might I suggest Your Majesty raise the tax upon the church?
No. No, this has gone on too long. They've become too powerful. These abbeys, they're almost kingdoms unto themselves. I must bring them to heel, and I am beginning to feel the beginnings of an idea, Thomas. Are you?
No. Yes, I think I can see the way your mind's working.
I want to allay my conscience, which is sorely troubled by these fat monks. I want them to spend their time doing what they're here on earth for. Praying, and saving souls, and things like that. Not spending their time wenching and swigging wine, and yeah, things like that. So what do you suggest?
Well, I was thinking, but no, you'll find it very drastic.
I'm not afraid of drastic measures, Thomas. When drastic measures are called for, you can rely on me. Out with it, man.
Well, you could dissolve the monastery, close down the chantry, seize all your lands and wealth, and declare yourself head of the church.
That is drastic. I like it. But it might make me enemies.
It could do that, but it would certainly swell your coffers.
Yes, I suppose it would. Now that's not my main consideration.
No, I realise that, Your Majesty, but it's always well to consider those financial aspects.
Yes.
And crushing the church would assuage your conscience about the suffering of your people under the heel of a foreign tyrant.
Hey?
The Church of Rome.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it? Go and bring me paper, Cromwell, now! I'm feeling drastic today.
And so the monasteries were dissolved, including, of course, the local partisans of Fountain, Sawley and Bolton Priory. Large-scale rebellion broke out, the rebels demanding the restoration of their religious houses.
The inhabitants of the north parts were at that time very ignorant and rude, knowing not what true religion meant, but altogether sunk in superstition. Certain abbots and priests, provoked by the suppression of certain monasteries and the abolition of the bishops of Rome's authority, claimed that the faith of the Holy Church was to be utterly abolished. The people of the north therefore rose in rebellion, saying they would maintain their religion or die for it.
Many of them did. However, first they swept all before them in Yorkshire, capturing York and Hull, and calling upon Henry Clifford, 11th of Skipton, to join them. He refused to do so, and his castle at Skipton was the only one north of the Humber which remained loyal to the king. Skipton Castle was besieged and finally taken by the rebels. When the rebellion was crushed, and the abbots of Fountain, Sawley and the rest were swinging from the gallows, the grateful king allowed the Cliffords to buy the Bolton Priory estates for a very low figure as a reward for their loyalty. Skipton Church ceased to be the centre of Roman Catholic worship and went over to new Protestant ways.
And how did all these great events affect our little school?
The chantries were closed by order of Henry.
Thomas, stand still, will you?
An act for the dissolution of colleges, chapels and free chantries at the King's Majesty's pleasure.
Yes, very good, Thomas.
These foundations no longer fulfil the goodly and virtuous purposes that inspired them.
That's right. Now I can have the premises used for godly and virtuous purposes.
I'll enact the commissioners to take the chantries into the King's possessions and hands, to have them to hold the same to his King's Highness and his heirs and successors forever and ever.
We really are getting on rather well, aren't we, Thomas?
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Unfortunately, Henry died the following year with Bodford Act. The teenage king Edward VI succeeded him, with the Earls of Somerset and Northumberland acting as regents. They determined to proceed with all speed. By new acts in 1547, all colleges, chapels and chantries then existing were given outright to the king. There was no mention of thee.
Not fulfilling the virtuous and godly intentions of the foundation.
The reason was simple.
Considering that a great part of superstition and error in Christian religion has been brought into the minds and estimation of men.
Thus ended the chantry school, established by Peter Toller.
The chantry lands at Skipton were seized by the king. At a stroke, the school lost all the wealth given to it by Toller. In return, the crown gave a princely sum of £4, 4 shillings and 10 pence, which it paid yearly until 1884. If the original lands were still owned by the school, today it would be one of the richest in the country.
Some of the money appropriated from our school was put to good use. In 1551, Clitheroe School was established with money from our lands, thus bringing the benefits of education to a part of Lancashire which had previously gone without.
One further incident to be noticed. Peter Toller's will left money for goods and plate, valuables, yet when Henry's commissioners investigated the school properties, no goods and plate were to be found, as the surprise commissioners wrote.
Goods, ornaments and plate pertain to the same, as by the inventory appeareth, viz. Goods nil and plate nil.
Where had it all gone? Was it stolen by Protestant opportunists, or was it hidden by crafty craving Catholics? The fate of Toller's treasure remains unsolved to this day, but perhaps somewhere, still hidden away, lies Toller's treasure.
The school itself might well have ceased to exist entirely, were it not for one of those strokes of good fortune which seem to have been its luck to have. Just when it seemed doomed to closure, one William Ermysted came to the rescue. Ermysted was a local friend of mine who had gone on to an Oxford MA. He may well have been an old boy of the chantry school, though no one knows for certain. What is certain is that he was an important political figure at the court of kings and queens, surviving unscathed the turbulent reigns of three monarchs, Henry VIII, Edward VI, and the Catholic Queen Mary. He was a master of chancery, a sort of under-secretary of state, a canon of St. Paul's, and a master of the temple. He was a political survivor, seeing his own superior, Bishop Bonner, thrown into prison, yet living long enough to see the political pendulum swing the other way and for Bishop Bonner to be reinstated.
In 1548, he drew up his endowment deed for the continuance and development of the threatened Skipton Chantry School. Actually, at the refoundation, 2 schools were established. The grammar school in 1548, the advanced education of academically gifted boys, and the Clerk School of 1555, to cater for the needs of the average boy. Thus Skipton was to have a grammar school, free and open to all the academically inclined, and also an elementary school. This noble ideal places Ermysted high on the list of the country's educational benefactors, and places Skipton at the forefront of educational developments in the 16th century. Ermysted not only founded or refounded this school, he also had a hand in founding Leeds Grammar School, an institution down the road which I believe is also still in existence.
So William left 2 deeds of foundation for our school.
Whereas, amongst other remembrances of human piety, it is a duty most pious, and it hath especially pleased the Most High, that boys should be rightly educated from their very infancy, and, with God's mercy, be informed or drawn along to virtue and discipline, according to the strength and endowments to them by heaven granted to promote this. That the Commonwealth may from time to time not only have learned and wise men, but also especially men fearing God, and now knowing that which is divine and reverent.
Over 4.5 centuries, the school has been producing young men, both learned and wise, men fearing God and knowing that which is divine and reverent.
So William then proceeded to lay down instructions as to the future conduct of the school.
The master or chaplain to teach in school, feast days accepted. School is to be held from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m, an interval of 2 hours at midday in the summer, and from 7 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. in the winter. There is to be frequent use of Latin tongue, and more advanced scholars are to compose epistles, orations and verses from a study of Virgil, Terence and Ovid. Every morning and evening psalms are to be sung and prayers said. If these are omitted, the master will be liable to a penalty of 20 pence a day, and if the omission persists, he will be altogether deprived of his office. For failure to attend church, the master will also be fined, and if a persistent non-attender, will be deprived of his office.
Were you at church last Sunday, headmaster?
Sir William founded a school which has lasted to this day, but in his foundation deed, he little realised what future problems he was creating for those who were to put his wishes into practice.
The master must preserve the estate. If guilty of neglect or any notable personal misconduct, it will be removed by the vicar and 11 church wardens.
And this is where the seeds of future troubles lie.
The right of election of the master rests with the vicar and church wardens. If they fail within 1 month, the master will be elected by the rector and fellows of Lincoln College, Oxford. If they fail within a month, the right of appointment rests with the dean and chapter of St Paul's Cathedral, and if they fail within a month, the right of appointment of the master of the school returns to the vicar and church wardens.
Sir William may have been a brilliant lawyer, but he drew up a fiendishly involved foundation deed, one which was to lead to riots and civil disorder, foul deeds, plots and counter-plots.
He had failed to specify whether the voting should be unanimous or by majority vote. He had failed to allow sufficient time for new masters to be found and installed, thus virtually ensuring there would be future conflicts over who was in charge of the school. Why would anyone quarrel over the appointments of headmaster? You might well ask. Because the post of master of the school was not, as it is today, undervalued and underpaid. It was a very valuable appointment.
So, Sir William Ermysted had rescued the school just when it seemed doomed. The refoundation had secured the future of the ancient free grammar school of Skipton on a firm and lasting basis, but trouble was inevitable, and it began almost immediately.
attached to the new school founded by Sir William Ermysted. I am 42 years of age. I was born in Bradley. I have kept 120 scholars here in this school these 5 years past. As the good and great Skipton report said of me, I am a good grammarian. I keep a good school. I have a good name. However, I am not a happy man. My stipend from the Chantry of St. Nicholas of £4, 4 shillings and 10 pence, our goodly sum, has not been paid in me these years past. There is no reason for this. I am out of pocket. I am an angry man. I am going to the Court of the Exchequer, where I will prove the continuity of the Chantry Grammar Schools, that I am therefore entitled to my sum of £4, 4 shillings and 10 pence. I am going to demand that my arrears of payment are made good. The Archbishop of York tells me, nay, commands me not to go, but the Archbishop has not been deprived of the money that is rightfully his. Therefore, I am going to the Court of the Exchequer, and the Archbishop of York be hanged.
In 1560, Ellis went to London, as he had threatened to do.
I won, as is only right.
He had succeeded in proving his case that the Chantry and grammar schools were continuous, and that he was still entitled to the sum paid to himself as master of the Chantry school.
More than that, I received full arrears of salary from the beginning of the refoundation to this present date.
Ellis must have returned to Yorkshire feeling well pleased with himself.
Yeah!
He had made enemies in high places.
I, Thomas Young, Archbishop of York in AD 1561, deprive and remove Stephen Ellis, last master of the said grammar school in Skipton, from the office and function of schoolmaster in the said town of Skipton.
But why? I have taught here 17 years. I have 120 scholars. There must be a reason. There is no reason. Give me a reason.
Very well. You have secretly connived at popish practices.
What?
You ask for a reason.
But that is absurd.
It is reason and reason enough.
This is a jealousy. I demand justice. I demand my school.
You demand too much, Mr. Ellis. You may go.
Stephen Ellis was extremely annoyed to lose the post he had held successfully for 17 years. He left Skipton for Lancashire, muttering dark threats against his enemies, taking with him the instrument containing the composition of the school, as well as the £4, 4 shillings and 10 pence he had got to send. He never taught again, vowing not to return the school composition document until some worthy teacher should take the school in hand. A new master was appointed in his place, but Ellis kept on receiving the £4, 4 shillings and 10 pence for another 20 years until his death in 1580.
Thus ended the first of many struggles over money and power, which was to be a feature of the life of the school, till 1876 and the time of Edward Hartley.
All the servants of the Lord
What was life like in a Tudor school? Very different from today, you can be sure of that. Let us start with writing. These are instructions to the scholar from Clement, Petty School.
The writer must provide these himself: pen, paper, ink, penknife, ruler, desk, and dust box. Of these, the three first are most necessary, the four later very requisite. Choice of paper. The whitest, finest, and smoothest paper is best.
Boy! What is this? What is this, boy? What is this? Stupid boy! Back in! Sit down, boy.
Now, to make the ink. Put into a quart of water 2 ounces of genuine Arabic, 5 ounces of gall, and 3 of coffee.
That will do, boy, that will do, thank you.
Now let it stand covered in the warm sun for a while, and so will the sooner prove goody. Boil the said stuff together a little upon your fire. It will make it more speedy for your writing.
To boil it, sir?
Yes, boy, you boil it.
First, the unboiled yields a fairer gloss, and longer endure.
Boy! What are you doing? Sweating! Stupid boy!
Instead of water, wine were best for this purpose.
Boy! Stupid boy!
Use the quill. Of quills, the whitest, fairest, and roundest are best. The third and fourth, the wing of goose or raven. But where these are not available, the pinion quill hath no fellow.
Boy! What manner of feather is this? Stupid boy!
Take mine.
Stupid boy!
To make the pen, tear not off the bark and over part of your pen's store, but rather cut the feather away.
Stupid boy! Stupid boy!
But a stronger sword it is in hand, the better will it deliver the letter. If your quill be horrid, scurvy, scrape off the said stuff with the back or heel of your penknife.
A mere scratch, boy, a mere nothing. Anyway, you got 9 of them.
Now, diligent heed to frame each letter in every part according to your copy, making it then small, where your copy letter shows small, and in that part bigger, where you see the same to be.
Boy, your pen's upside down. Boy!
Let not your paper lie too hard for mowing your pen. Write every word, distant each from other, in space of the small a. Set your stance or inkling on your right hand, for fear of overthwart blotting.
Right hand, boy! Right hand!
And right, your body and head upright, and best kept aloft, we call it. Your letters straight and even on the line. Likewise, all the mini letters make an even length, as past your example. Mini letters are all they which appear of equal height above the line or foot of the letter, as are the A's, E's, C's, G's, and all of their height. Greatest letters are called capitals. No capital shall be written in any part of a word, except in the very first syllable to begin the same, and where that should be done is taught before.
Excuse me, sir.
Boy,
What's a silly ball?
Silly ball? What's a silly ball? Silly ball, syllable! Dolls! Ah!
just the instructions. Clearly, tutor education was very detailed, precise, and instructive. And for wrongdoers, what punishments did they use? This is advice from John Brinsley in his book Ludus Literarius, or the Grammar School.
So punished by a knot, which may be called a black belt. Sometimes ingrateful, to give 3 or 4 jerks of the birch, or a small red willow where birch cannot be had, or for terror in some notorious fault, half a dozen stripes or more, soundly laid on according to the discretion of the master. In this connection with the rod, special provision must be had for sundry things. Number 1. When you want to correct any stubborn or unbroken boy, you may be sure to hold him fast, as they are enforced to do, for to short, tame an unbroken colt. To this end, obtain 2 of your scholars whom you know to be honest and strong enough to hold him fast. Over some form, no stir hand nor foot. You really need a 9 iron for this job, but the other Come on, boy, take your many. It would have been 10 times as more when I was your age. Now can you be left to go away in his stubbornness, murmuring and pouting, or blowing and puffing. Number 2. To avoid all smiting over the back in any such sort of way as to hurt or endanger them. To this end, to prevent all mischief, for their own comfort and cut off all occasions of puzzling parents or evil reports of the school, to avoid for these causes all smiting over the head with hand, cord, or feather I bet you wish you knew what this did, eh, boy? Now little Charlie Fielding, his mummy and daddy say don't hit him so hard, his master, he's a good boy, really. Well, here's one for mummy. I want for daddy. I want for you, Charlie, and Charlie, master and master. Number 3. But the masters avoid all furious anger, threatening, chafing, fretting, reviling, for these things will diminish authority and may do much hurt. Hello, boys, all right, I'm your friend. It's all for your own good son. I love you for it. We don't think you should obey your elders and better. Careful with those. One for the road, I think. Number 4, bring me little troll. Careful, boy. Quiet now. You don't want me to double it, do you? Let the connection be done with authority, with a wise and sober moderation, a demonstration of duty to God and love to the children, for their amendment and the correction of their evil manners. Just 2 today, troll. 1 for each buttock. We don't leave any wine or bits, do we? Get what he did and leave them tomorrow. God has sanctified the rod of correction, to cure the evil of their condition, to drive out the folly that is bound up in their hearts, to save their souls from hell, to give them wisdom. It is God's instrument to be used in these purposes. To spare them in these cases is to hate them. To love them is to correct them. Do it unto God, and you shall never hurt them. You have the Lord as your witness.
Some rather strange ideas about sports. Here are some recommendations from Mulcaster's book on the training of the children, published in 1581.
Right! Let's have some start, jump! Stop and speaking!
Leaping and springing without intermission is good to increase the natural heat, to help digestion, to dispatch raw humours. To afterward it annoys the head and the breast, because it shaketh the head very vehemently.
Running!
Stop! Stop all!
is good for such diseases of the body as have troubled it long. It helpeth the bull because it useth no violent bending. It fetcheth down such needless fumes as otherwise would have been aspiring upward. It cherisheth weak legs through some trembling and benumbed flesh.
He recommended horse riding for children.
Get off it! And you as well!
So he warned.
Of slow riding. It wearieth the groins and hurteth the buttocks and the legs by hanging down so long. It hinders the getting of children. No breed makes them lameness.
His greatest recommendation was for the sport of football.
Boy, what are you doing? The football strengtheneth and broadeneth the whole body. And by smoking superfluities downward, it discharges the head and the upper part. It is good for the bowels, and to drive down the stone and gravel from the kidney and the bladder. It strengtheneth weak legs, and also simple shanks by singing under state, no less than riding doth.
Yet he warned.
Rash running and too much force oftentimes breaketh spinward conduit and bringeth ruptures. Now get out of here!
Education, according to the ideals of William Ermysted, continued at the school throughout the Tudor period. Such an education seems to have been successful. Shakespeare, for example, attended a free grammar school very like our own, and received no further education save that provided by the school. Clearly, it proved sufficient for his needs in later life.
However, political events were about to take another hand in the turbulent history of our school. With the death of Elizabeth in 1603 and the accession of James I, a power struggle began between Parliament and the Crown, which was to lead to the overthrow of the monarchy and to civil war. Skipton and the school were to be closely involved in the struggle.
King James I on his throne, addressing Parliament.
The state of monarchy is the supremest thing upon earth. For kings are not only God's lieutenants upon earth, and sit nearest beneath God's throne, but even by God himself they are called gods. It is sedition to dispute what a king may do in the height of his power. Do not meddle with the main points of government. That is my craft. To meddle with them were to lessen me. I am now an old king. I must not be torn my office. I would not have you meddle with such ancient rights of mine as I have received from my predecessors. They are the law. And remember this, to be grieved with the law is to be grieved with the king. And to be grieved with the king is treason!
Parliament would not tolerate this high-handedness, and conflict was inevitable. The rising middle classes no longer believed the king was a god. The Puritans resented the power of the Church of England. This mixture was explosive.
War broke out in 1642, and in Skipton, the castle, church and school soon became deeply involved. The town was an important royalist bastion, and was soon at the centre of these momentous events. Skipton Castle became an important royalist stronghold, which was under siege from 1642 for the next 4 years. Battles between parliamentarians and royalists raged around Skipton and Craven and across Yorkshire. After the royalists defeated Marston Moor, Skipton Castle was the only royalist stronghold left in Yorkshire. The defenders held out desperately, fighting bravely and resolutely. Not for the first or the last time, men of Craven distinguished themselves in war.
By 1646, the royalist cause was lost, and the defenders were forced to submit. However, they surrendered with honour, and in so impressed their enemies that they allowed to march out with trumpets sounding and bullets in their mouths. A garrison took charge, and the old order of castle, church and state was at an end, seemingly forever.
The parish church itself had been badly damaged during the siege and was practically in ruins. Often during the war years, it was closed down completely. With the victory of the Puritans, prayer books were suppressed, bishops abolished, and the whole framework of church government collapsed.
Obviously, the school was affected by this upheaval. It suffered badly during the actual fighting, and the payment of rents and letting of leases, which were its financial support, were in chaos. Local parliamentarian sympathisers took advantage of this trouble to seize money for themselves.
With the Second Civil War, which began in 1648, once more parliamentary forces were marching through Skipton, and once more the castle was occupied by royalist troops. Skipton was a scene of bitter fighting, and many people were slain. Cromwell himself marched through the town at the head of his army on the way to his final victory at Preston.
At some time between 1646 and 1649, the school was closed and used as a barracks. As if this wasn't bad enough, there began in 1652 a sort of civil war within the school.
Praise in the brown, red, full, and Edward Brown, scholar of Oxford University.
And what are you doing here, Edward Brown?
I've been appointed master of this school.
Oh, you have you?
Yes, I have.
Who says?
The rector and fellows of Lincoln College, Oxford, have appointed me.
Oh, good for them. Where are they?
They're in Oxford. Naturally.
Oh, naturally.
What do you intend to do here, Master Brown?
I intend to fulfill the school's ordination, prepare the school and schoolhouse.
Oh, very commendable, Mr. Brown.
I take it you're wanting to pay for this.
No, as I intend to restore to the school all of the land, which I believe have been ruptured during the late upheaval.
Lost. They're not lost, Master Brown. I know very well where they are. After up the 80s, by various persons, and yet unknown.
They're not unknown either. There's Robert there.
Silence!
Who are these slobs and churls?
Robert and Charles.
I detest slobber in all my soul. What are they doing here in the school?
They're drinking ale, Master Brown.
Aye. Tell us more of your plans, Master Brown. They interest at least me very deeply.
Clearly this place unfit for teaching. Therefore I shall reside in the town, till such time as all lands, tenements, rents, profits, goods, chattels, stocks of money and all my school are returned to me, personally.
Oh, very worthy of you, Master Brown. I'm sure that Lincoln College can be proud of a little man such as yourself.
Well, yes, I can see that you're a man of some intelligence.
Thank you, your worship.
I'm not your worship. Master will do. Now kindly tell me what you are these. These men are here in the school.
Yes.
I, your mastership, are Henry Bailey, assistant master and usher of the School of Ermysted.
You are? You? Then what on earth are you doing consorting with these ruffians?
Ruffians.
These shag-haired sheep
Did
stealers!
you hear what he called them? Man like you ought to have some respect for his station, for the law. Sugar sheep stealers. I'll have you know I'm respectable tenant. I'll bunker off this Skipton called school from which I pay 5 shillings a year in rent. You pay how much? 5 shillings. I have a legal document. The lease is mine forever and ever. Amen. I can show you if you want to see it. All signed legally.
Oh yes! By yourself!
No, by me.
You?
All perfectly legal. I'm assistant master of the School of Ermysteds.
You conniver! You conniver of corruption!
Who conniver at corruption? Out with him. The Oxford. Come in here and telling us what? Get back where you came from.
He's gone, you want!
Oh, he called us now. Sheep stealer, he called me.
I am scholar of Oxford University. I know my rights. I am master of this school!
I've had enough of this.
Wretched rugged curd!
What did he say? Wretched rugged curd. What's all right then?
A fine way we've learned you up, Master Brown, and a great Oxford scholar you will likely be. Get me back there, lad.
You numbers! You loose person!
Oh, loose person.
And so ended the mastership of Edward Brown, evicted from the school by the so-called mad usher.
An odd postscript to the story is that Lincoln College have no record of Edward Brown, although a couple of years earlier Prince Henry School had totally ejected their master, when Edward Brown thought pretending to be a graduate.
Whether Browns a fraud or not, the school remained in chaos for a further 2 years to come, when a Cromwellian master was appointed. He had barely started to organise the school when the Cromwellian era ended and the monarchy was restored.
The era of Puritanism, republicanism and rule of common man was gone, and in its place returned the king, the church,
and the lords of Skipton Castle. The school itself was in a terrible state, ruined, occupied by troops, its lands and income lost to predators. It seemed as if it might wither and die. But as it happened before and was to happen again, salvation was not far away. For among the pupils of the school in those dark days of civil war was one William Pettit. And William Pettit was a very clever young man who was destined for great things.
He attended Skipton Grammar and on leaving school went to London where he studied law. As a lawyer, he defended the City of London against their king who wanted to rewrite their royal charter. As he became more important, he changed his name from Pettit to Pettit and adopted as a family motto, "He who esteems himself small shall become great." He was later employed at the courts of justice, although already he developed other interests, particularly antiquarian research. He became an expert on old books, records and deeds. He also wrote books himself with titles like The Ancient Rights of the Commons of England Asserted, or Discourse Proving by Records and the Best Historians that the Commons of England were ever an essential part of Parliament. This may sound dull and commonplace, but in fact what Pettit was doing was very important. He was providing the legal and historical precedent for Whig party's struggle for power with the monarchy. Pettit's book claimed that the kings of Saxon times were actually elected. Naturally, Pettit's book infuriated the king, who was at that time engaged in a brutal suppression of power with large sections of his people. It was the time of Judge Jeffreys' assizes.
And that's the case of the prosecution, Judge. Do I need to sum up?
Ah, the non-conformity to this.
Dilly, my lord.
Off with their heads.
The women too.
The boys, aren't they?
Yes, my lord.
Off with them.
And the children.
Wouldn't do to leave them as orphans now, would it? Off with their heads. They'd only become rebels themselves one day. Next!
The next one's a bit more difficult, my lord. Lady Markham. She's well respected in Winchester. A lady of great humility.
Charged with
The shelter of abuse from the rebellion, my lord.
guilty!
But my lord, don't you want to hear the case? We better have a trial, or at least a pretence of one.
No need, waste of time, guilty, burn her alive!
My lord, I have here letters written in my past to the king. I know report of people.
Please for clemency. Lord Bridgewater, very well, I'll reduce her sentence from burning her alive. Like you, my lord, chopping off her head.
Titus Oates, my lord.
Mr. Oates, we meet at last. You are charged, I believe, with perjury.
I am innocent, my lord.
In that you invented a plot by the Foches to bring back the Catholic religion to this country.
My lord, I swear it is true. The king himself was party to it.
Silence, convicted by his own words. Guilty.
The sentence, Judge.
Life imprisonment.
No, please.
And once a week this foul traitor shall be taken to the pillory, and there exhibited for public amusement.
But Judge, I beg of you.
Ain't this beggary, but you'll be whipped across London from Cheapside to Hyde Park, receiving no less than 3,000 lashes!
The king was so pleased with Judge Jeffreys that he promoted him to Lord Chancellor with a brief to control the church, who was opposed to his moves to restore Catholicism as the religion of this country. When the king began to suspend laws, Betty found evidence that this was illegal, claiming that Parliament had an equal right to make laws. The king refused to listen. His brutality knew no bounds. He had hundreds of alleged rebels executed or transported. He built up a huge standing army, appointed Catholics as officers, and finally dismissed Parliament entirely. Parliament responded by inviting the Dutchman, William of Orange, to England to protect the rights of the Protestant Church. William was married to the king's Protestant daughter, Mary, who had been heir to the throne until James's second marriage to a Catholic and the subsequent birth of a Catholic son. William arrived at Torbay with 15,000 troops and marched on London. King James's days were numbered. He fled to France after throwing the official seal of England into the Thames. He was adjudged to have abdicated. William and Mary became joint monarchs. However, they were monarchs under certain strict conditions which limited royal power forever. Thus, had William Pettit played an important role in what came to be known as the Glorious Revolution. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 ended the absolute political power of the monarchy and established to a large extent the political system that is kept to this day. And William Pettit was the man who showed the constitutionalists how to do it. He was the man who provided the legal fixes. It is no exaggeration to say that this son of Ermysted played an important role in creating modern democratic government in this country. Parliament certainly recognised how important his work was, as they promoted him to be Keeper of Record in the Tower of London for his services to them. And this was like letting money be loose in the vaults of the Bank of England. In Caesar's Chapel, a large room within the White Tower, Pettit and his team of clerks found multitudes of records from various reigns, lying in confusion and in grave danger of perishing unless speedy care was taken for their preservation. Thus, William Pettit collected together the work of England's kings and bound and indexed them, work of the highest national and historical importance. Naturally, for he was a very astute man, Pettit realised the significance of what he was doing. While he worked there among the manuscripts at the Tower, he gathered an amazing collection of books, pamphlets and tracts together for himself. He was a true son of Craven. After his death in 1707, this collection amounted to 182 volumes of printed books, 209 volumes of manuscripts, and 230 in folio.
Together, they formed one of the most important collections of documents of our country's history. Nowadays, their value will be incalculable.
In his will, Pettit left £200 to the school for scholarships to Christ's College, Cambridge, and £50 for the benefit of the school itself.
A valuable collection of books and manuscript was left to several friends who we made trustees to see them kept entirely for public use and service. One of these trustees was his brother, Sylvester, another old boy of the school, and it was through him the school came to share the Pettit Library.
Sylvester Pettit, William's younger brother, was another successful old boy of the school. When he died unmarried in 1719, he had a large fortune of his own, as well as his brother's bequests to dispose of. He too remembered his days in Skipton with gratitude, and was determined to see that the school and the town should benefit from his wealth.
After generous gifts to charities and some gifts to the school, around £30,000 was left for the school to dispose of as they saw fit. £30,000 was an immense amount of money in 1719, and all they had to spend it on was the Pettit Library and the grant of money for the provision of books for the school.
Thus, in the years after the school's near ruin in the Civil War, 2 of its old boys had come to its rescue. This should have been enough to restore the fortunes of the school for the foreseeable future. However, it was hardly the fault of the Pettit brothers that the trust and the library that they had established were to be disgracefully misused, or that they were to become the cause of much bitterness and controversy in the years to come.
With politicians, the great landowning classes attained monarchy for all time. Church and state had had enough of martyrdom causes, and British power began to expand worldwide. While at home, there was lots of money to be made. The 18th century was a generally undistinguished period in the history of our school. The school had a still valuable endowment to guarantee its existence. There was little need for change, and it was inevitable that there was little educational innovation during the period. As has so often been seen already, the school reflected the life of society in which it existed, so it was inevitable that corruption and bribery should enter locally when it was so rife in the country nationally. In the time of Sir Robert Walpole, when it was assumed that every man had his right, the Skipton church wardens certainly had theirs. They had the master's office to bestow, a headship equal to the finest in the land. Many of them profited considerably, accepting hefty bribes from would-be headmasters. By the end of the 18th century, Britain had lost its New World and its American colonies, but had avoided the excesses of the French Revolution. The first Industrial Revolution and the Agricultural Revolution had begun, transforming Britain into the first industrialised country in the world. Land that had been common for centuries was enclosed by landlords. Factories, canals, and roads were built. The population was expanding, and great changes were taking place, both locally and nationally. But sadly, the grammar reform made more of them. It was still providing an education more suited to the 16th century than the 19th, and was not to change its ways until the threat of extinction was nearly upon it, 100 years later. One interesting footnote to this period is the story of John Wesley. Yes, that's right, the John Wesley, the founder of Methodism. Upon the death of the incumbent headmaster, Richard Liesel, in 1727, the news soon spread that the headship was available. A nice, well-paid, cushy number it was then. There were many who fancied their chances. Remember that only 1 month was allowed in which to appoint a successor. If the churchwardens hadn't made that appointment, then Lincoln College, Oxford, would step in with their choice. 1 month wasn't a long time, and communication was painfully slow and transportation hazardous. Small wonder then that the 23-year-old student at Lincoln College, Oxford, rather fancied his chances of becoming the new headmaster. His name was John Wesley.
March the 19th, 1727. Dear Mother, one advice
advantage at least my degree has given me, I am now at liberty to choose my own employment. I hope my time will turn to somewhat better account than when it was not so much in my own disposal.
Evidently, he was a bit of a lad, wasting his time given the chance.
On Saturday next, I propose beginning an entirely different life with relation to the management of my expenses from what I have hitherto done. I then expect to receive a large sum of money and to immediately call in all my creditors' bills.
As a student, he'd run up quite a few overdrafts. Nothing changes.
And from this time forward, I will trust no man of what sort of trade soever, so far as to let him trust me.
This made him cynical. But how was he to clear his bills?
Ermysteds, a school in Yorkshire about 40 miles from Doncaster, was proposed to me lately, on which I shall think more about when it appears I may have it, or not. A good salary is the next, and in a year's time it is probable all my debts will be paid, and I should have some money beforehand.
Ah, I see now.
But what has made me wish for it most? It is the frightful description of the town given to me by some gentleman who know the place.
Ah, frightful description of the town?
The town, Skipton in Craven, lies in a little vale, so pent up between two hills, it is scarcely accessible from any side. You can expect little company from without, and within, there's none at all. For this reason, I will be entirely at liberty to converse with company of my own choosing, and whom for that reason I would bring with me.
He was going to bring his own friends with him because he didn't like the Skiptonians. Wesley didn't get the job, which was probably for the best, as his main concern seemed to be to clear his overdraft. And his other reason for wanting to live in Skipton, that there was no one to talk to in the town, and it was hardly like to endear him to the local population. So it was probably just as well that Master Wesley went off elsewhere to clear his overdraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, there now follows a short interval of 15 minutes, during which refreshments will be served in rooms G and H, just along the corridor.
In 1751 erupted a series of scandals concerning the school, which were to rock Skipton for half a century to come.
You're late again! Come on! I hereby declare this meeting of the Church Wardens of Skipton Grammar School open this 33rd of June, 1751.
Here, hold that a minute, Isaac. Are you sure that's right? What? Opening the meeting?
How else do you propose to do business?
Ah, business is thing. Aye, I know that, but I mean, there'll be records kept.
Oh, see what you mean.
Right, so let's start again.
This is not an official meeting then?
That's better. It's a meeting about a meeting. Only we're not here, are we?
No. I don't understand what you're bloody talking about.
I'll get to this. There's too much clearer there.
Now, let's get down to business.
The headmaster.
Aye, how is it, old bugger?
The headmaster. What are you going to say?
Is he going to live?
That seems unlikely.
How long's he got left?
It's hardly seemly to us.
I don't mean to ask him. I mean, how does physician give him?
Massive weeks, I'm afraid.
Right, go and find some steps. They're right sharp ones. Breakthrough.
Aye, they're coming on a treat. At least £150 a year I make it.
Aye, that's just what he's got going now. There's plenty of opportunity for someone with a bit of gold about him.
Let's call it £100 a year then. Less deduction.
Should be some weighty scholars interested in the job with that sort of money attached to it.
As a matter of fact, I do know someone.
Why? Who's that then?
Do I need to mention names just yet?
You do, Isaac, you do.
We don't want any of this mealy mouth beating about bush. I hate a man that can't talk straight. Who is your man?
I'd rather not say.
Oh, bloody hell.
We're talking about serious matters here. Money's at stake.
Well, William West has expressed an interest.
West? Never heard of bloody man.
He is a scholar.
No, but he
He's a
can...
churchman.
No,
But he can read and write.
Just about.
Just about. My God, you've got some brass face, Isaac. I'll give you that.
What qualifications has he got?
I know the man well.
Aye, that's about size of it. You know him well.
Hear me out.
You come here and propose a man like West? How much is he paying you?
I'll be entered into it.
How much?
£50.
£50?
Oh.
£50. That's a goodly sum.
Good.
He might have me to be sending his favour after all.
When can we meet the man?
He's willing to come here and meet us within the month.
Good. Right, don't really meet the man for the job.
Tell him to bring his spurs with him.
There is one other possible candidate, the Reverend Stephen Barrett.
Who's he?
An old student of the school, a classical scholar of some considerable eminence.
Have you got any other qualifications?
He's master of Ashford School in Kent.
Sounds overqualified to me.
Kent, that's no good to it.
Aye, too bloody far away.
He's a bit of it, man.
Nice property it for us if it's 200 miles down
But
road.
he has friends locally. Lord Thanet favours this case, as does the Vicar of Carlton.
Nah, I ain't bloody southerners.
Sounds a party man to me. I vote for William West.
Aye, we've got to see what else he has to offer.
Right, start the record.
Meeting of the Church Wardens of Skipton Grammar School. It was resolved that William... What's he called, Your
The
Honour?
Reverend Stephen Barrett.
Reverend Barrett applied for the post of headmaster when it becomes vacant upon the death of Matthew Wilkinson, God rest his soul.
He hasn't gone yet.
Aye, when he's dead. We don't want two headmasters, do we?
Both candidates actively canvassed support among the 12 church buildings. William West handed out bribes of £60 to Isaac Stock, £20 to Michael Mitchell, £50 to John Piggersgill, and a flask of brandy for the thirsty William Curran. So at first it seemed as if he would succeed in his bid, but news of his actions had reached Reverend Barrett.
He's got 6 of the church ones already. Stephen, you have no chance.
But he's got the 5 for bribery and trouble. It's a disgrace, a scandal. I won't stand for it.
It's no use, they're all up to it.
What do you mean it's no use? It's immoral, it's a sin, and it's downright wickedness.
No, it's just expensive.
Yes, it's the worst of all national vices.
I see that even the assistant master Colton is trying to make money out of all this. He wants a rise in salary.
Well, I consider that the giver is almost equally immersed in the guilt as the receiver. And all this while my poor master is still living.
Would you not consider joining us in the canvassing, Stephen? It would only cost you about £100 or so. And you could soon recompense yourself from living at the school.
Never, not while I live. I heartily pity all the gentlemen of the neighbourhood of Skipton that is in the power of a parcel of venal curse who will put in any wretch who must mount to their price. I just hope that Lord Thanet, when he hears me, intervene.
The headmaster, Matthew Wilkinson, obligingly passed away on August the 4th, and the fate of the contest rapidly hotted up.
I have just dined with Lord Thanet, whose dear wife has just died, and so I feel it incumbent upon me not to trouble the Lord with my petty complaints, and I feel I must reluctantly agree to your suggestion. It may be wise to invest, say £100 or so in bribes, to save the Lord and my friends from appointing someone who will be less worthy than myself. Yet we must have no witnesses, for if any of them should turn tails after my election and the matter be brought into court, I may be outed of my new acquisition. Who knows how far revenge may carry West, for I expect he pays highly for the votes he has.
You're doing the right thing, Stephen. It's a Christian act you do.
It is.
Certainly. You don't want the sinners to profit by their evil deeds, now do you?
Certainly not.
Good. The Reverend Thomas Carr, master of Bolton Abbey School, has drawn up a list of whom to bribe and in what amount.
For this I am everlastingly grateful.
And I can see the new cattle on your land.
Good husbandry, Michael. You do well to look to your support for the West.
I've got a new barn out of him.
I've asked him to promise to give us easy terms when he's landlord.
He agrees.
Aye, if he has to choose pound with more cash.
How is the brandy, William? Well, I'm well.
So it looks like a stalemate. 6 votes apiece.
Ah, not quite.
What do you mean?
I've had a late bid from friends of Reverend Barrett.
But you've already taken £30 from West to support him.
That was before I fully understood the merits of Reverend Barrett. He's a true scholar, that man. I admire him. It is a man with the interest of the school at heart.
How much?
£50.
You've taken money from both sides.
Not at the same time.
It's you should be running the school, don't think as you've got gifts for job. 7 votes to 5 for Barrett.
8 to 4.
Oh, not you two. But you've already taken money from the other man. It's an old principle left nowadays.
Indeed not.
Barrett's the new headmaster then.
An excellent appointment, if I may say so.
But Barrett was losing his nerve. The greedy warders made no secrets of the bribes he had given. Suppose he gave up his school at Ashford, only to fail to gain the Skipton post. Suppose the story of how he secured the headship got out. He was afraid of possible scandal that should surround him, so he withdrew his application.
West had run out of bribes, and now the trouble started all over again. Time was getting short, and the church wardens had to find a headmaster within a month of Wilkinson's death. Otherwise, Lincoln College would step in and appoint one themselves.
2 new candidates then entered the field. Reverend George Chamberlain, a local vicar and general wheeler dealer. Reverend Thomas Carr of Bolton Abbey, who was already actively bribing on behalf of Barrett. New bribes were offered, and the church wardens entered the fray with zest.
Like bloody Christmas, this.
You all two supported Barrett. I take it you're now supporting Chamberlain.
That depends. I'm not.
No, me.
Carl's offered me £40.
And I've got another flask of brandy.
You've got another flask of brandy, old bloody thing's finished with a month for your sober.
It's deadlocked now anyway. 6 votes apiece.
Oh, hell,
If
fire.
Lincoln College gets to hear of this, really took to it, yeah.
I'm keeping my £40 no matter what happens.
I don't suppose there's any chance of you giving up a flask of brandy.
The pig's blind.
Not around Skipton, they don't want.
Right then. Any more offers?
No.
I can't see any way out of deadlock. Can you?
No.
No, but Reverend Carr could. The rest office is the Archbishop of York. Too late. The other side had already entered an objection to him, and the Archbishop refused his license. Carr's reaction was characteristic. He returned to Skipton, entered the school, and declared himself headmaster. I'm headmaster!
Meanwhile,
Go away!
Let me in.
Go away! This is a school! My school!
I demand access.
Damn your eyes, churl! Can't you see boys are being taught here? Who are you anyway?
I'm Reverend Samuel Plummer, newly arrived from Oxford. I've been appointed by Lincoln College as the new headmaster of this school.
Good for you!
Ah!
Who's not banging on the door? No one! Get back to your teaching, Mr. Colton. I've had enough of this. We can't teach without a license. Stand at your post, Mr. Colton. What, for that measly £25 a year you pay me? I'll give you £30 if you stand by me. Never. I can't vote. I'm a teacher, a scholar. £35. I made a career out of teaching the boys. I will not be involved in this unseemly warfare. Open the door immediately. £37, and that's my last offer. Open the door and let the rightful headmaster in. £40. A year? And as much liquor as you can drink if you'll help me keep him out. Brandy? Yes. So.
Clough prepared himself for a siege. The school was closed down and remained closed for 6 months as he tried to hold on to his self-appointed headship. He resorted to flattery and bribes to try to keep his assistant Master Colton on his side. But in the end he had to surrender the school and move out.
I'll leave, but unwillingly.
Begone!
I'll be back, I prophesy it, cross my heart.
Ah, begone!
He went. Carr earned his place in history when a huge heifer, bred of Bolton Abbey by his son, became famous all over the north as the Craven heifer. And on the death of his rival Plummer, Carr's prophecy came true. He once more became headmaster of Ermysteds, this time legally. I'm back! Told you I would be.
and brought the head in the back room of a cupboard hole to the east. When it was discovered he had no scholastic qualifications, he was removed and went off to become rector of Burnsall. Whitman was followed by Garth, who recited poetry to teenage girls whilst dressed in his night attire, who fathered an illegitimate child by one of them, and who lived to defy all attempts by his enemies to have him evicted. After his death, he is reputed to have haunted the school and to have caused the death of his successor, the one-time rector Whitman, by appearing in front of him while he was cutting down a tree in the wilderness, in the area abutting by Leeds Road.
Gartham and Gartham's ghost are mercifully the low point of the fortunes of Ermysted's grammar school. Our school was not alone in having a period of corruption and incompetence. It ran right through the country in the early 19th century. However, the age of reform was at hand, and not before time. Amazing that may sound, in an era when Britain was leading the world in scientific inventions and their applications, in 1841, the school was still following the curriculum laid down by William Ermysted 300 years earlier. Reading and Latin were virtually the only subjects taught.
The new Constitution of 1841 laid down that more English should be taught, along with the previously unheard of subject, mathematics. A second master was to be hired and the main school building to be extended. A second body of trustees was appointed to manage the school properly.
This was a step forward, but not a revolutionary one. In 1864, most of the maths teaching under the eccentric Dr. Cartman seems to have been done in verse. The entire staff was made up of members of the Cartman family, and the headmaster, Dr. Cartman, was going to ration every single boy in the school, for instead of reciting this line of the Lord's Prayer,
"Deliver us from all evil."
the dissenters said,
"Deliver us from evil."
"Ah, if only we could thrash boys for such sins nowadays."
The real revolution came in 1871, when the rule of the church wardens finally came to an unlamented end, there was to be no more bribery and corruption, no more selling the headship for a new cow. In short, there was to be an efficient body of managers, known henceforth as the governors, who have managed school affairs ever since. And as far as I'm aware, none of them are interested in selling their headship in order to obtain a new cow.
The headmaster was now to be paid a salary instead of deriving his money by the leasing and the letting of the school estates. Instead of being a rent collector, he was to devote all his time to the management of the school, a novel concept which was to introduce real efficiency for the first time. By the 1871 scheme, the school was to move into new premises, our present school, here on Gragay Road.
However, there was no immediate improvement. The numbers in the old school continued to fall to only 26 in 1874, so it took great courage to go ahead with the project for a new school building, especially when the original estimate of £7,000 was proven to be quite inadequate. There were also objections to the school being too close to the workhouse and feed hospitals, which would be likely to prejudice parents against it.
When Edward Hartley was appointed headmaster in 1876, there were only 13 boys in the school. However, Hartley was a giant of a figure, but he more than any other man who did so much to fashion the school. With his gallant 13 boys, who he marched up from the old school to the new, with a further 13 new boys, he set about creating a school worthy of the name Ermysted.
He admitted in his first speech day that the school certainly did not bear a good name when he came to it, but by his own selfish and inspiring sense of personal direction, the school facilities were greatly improved, and by his own high standard of scholarship and discipline, a new status was almost immediately achieved, one which the school has maintained ever since.
If Ermysted, with its generous endowment, was the refounder of the ancient school, and Hartley was the first builder of the new school, no man was more than he to fashion the 20th century Ermysteds. Quite simply, he introduced a revolution. There was a whirlwind of a man who swept away convention. New subjects were introduced. Modern languages and science, maths and English were given prominence. Much emphasis was placed on sports, even a new sport, swimming. There was a carpentry shop. There were classes in bookkeeping and land surveying. There were new buildings and new boys, but above all there was a new spirit in the school, and that spirit was Edward Hartley.
As his daughter, herself a well-known writer, recollected in one of the colour supplements,
My father was especially fond of science, even making many of the scientific instruments himself. He and the boys blew and ground the glass for the lenses for the school's astronomy telescope and made advances for the chemistry lesson.
The school's examiner, E. Armstrong Esquire, fellow of Queen's College, Oxford, reported,
You will, I trust, consider that the progress which has been made in the last year is of the highest degree satisfactory. The paperwork in particular displays a high degree of intelligence and power of expression.
significantly, he is the first examiner to comment on the calibre of the boys themselves.
I cannot conclude my report without expressing the highest opinion of the behaviour and discipline of the boys. Young and untrained as many of them are, never once have I had to call them into order. Also, never in any other school have I had examination papers sent up to me with so much caring, numbering and arrangement. These may seem trifling matters, but to me they are just as important as all the rest put together.
And so, while Skipton was undergoing its greatest ever expansion, the town had at last the school surpassed the aspirations of its most ambitious citizens. The town, and indeed the nation, has had many occasions on which to appreciate the work done by Edward Hartley and the scholars produced at Ermysted's Grammar School.
What are the boys? What were they like? Here is an extract from the School Chronicle of 1891.
Seldom perhaps has a Yorkshire boy boasted of a more remarkable record of unbroken successes, or left school with more brilliant reputation than T.W. Edmondson. He gained an exhibition at the grammar school at the age of 10 in 1879. It was certainly not an age of dross at the school. For the next year, he was awarded an increased scholarship, along with Thornton, Harrison, Johnston, G. Thornton, Green, Petty, Henley, Holmes, Nightingale, and Greenwood, every one of whom has since taken university degrees, nearly all with scholarships or honours, and many with distinctions of the highest class. 2 taking double firsts, 1 first place in his year in mathematics, another second in medicine, and carrying off 3 medals. In 1884, Thornton and Harrison were placed first and second for the Ackworth Scholarship against all schools of Yorkshire. And in 1885, Edmondson was bracketed first for the same examination, though he was too young to take it. In the following year, he was matriculated at London University, gaining the highest place in honours against all England and a scholarship of £30 for the next 2 years. Next year, he gained an open scholarship of £50 at Corpus Christi College, Cambridge, and also passed an intermediate examination for the London degree. While he was still at Ermysted, he completed his BA degree at London, gaining Ackroyd scholarships for the next 3 years, and an open scholarship at Pembroke College, where he entered his name on leaving school. He went on to become Professor T.W. Edmondson, a renowned scholar.
Came to Ermysted, as it did to every other school throughout the British Empire. From a school of 120 boys in 1912, no fewer than 287 old boys of the school fought for their country. 55 gave their lives, 13 obtained military crosses, 1 obtained a Distinguished Service Order, 1 the Distinguished Conduct Medal, and another one, the Croix de Guerre.
The Chronicles of Christmas, 1914.
Such a mighty upheaval as has shaken the utmost part of the earth, has swept over this sleepy old craven capital and its quiet old school, and has brought about changes, insignificant perhaps compared with the history-making events of the outside world, yet great and grave in the annals of a school such as ours. The war has influenced every detail of our school life, as far as we can see, will have its effects as much upon the future as upon the present. Masters have gone, masters have come, old boys have joined the colours. Our schoolwork, our games, the whole of our thoughts are tinged with the glow of the great conflagration. The military spirit, which has already taken possession of the town, has seized us. We awaken, eat and retire to the martial sound of bugle calls. The cadet corps is learning its drill with an earnestness which reflects the new spirit pervading everything. Khaki-clad figures occupy the lower field in leisure moments. 2 of our concerts have been given to soldiers, another at the town hall of the Belgian refugees. A weekly subscription is made by many boys to the Prince of Wales Fund.
Yes, will I continue despite everything?
The new ground, which we suppose will continue to be the top in name, is practically finished, and those who remember the old state of affairs will look forward with delight to next term's cricket.
At first, the tone of the Chronicles was almost light-hearted.
On Saturday, July the 17th, Lieutenant Fisher gave an account of his experiences in France. The lecture theatre was crowded, and the victor wife made an enthusiastic demonstration. He described the British withdrawal from the Ypres district and a subsequent fighting at the critical time of the German offensive towards Calais. Lieutenant Fisher was himself wounded, but later returned in time for the fighting around La Bassée and Givenchy. The maps, sketches of trenches, and details of the actual fighting methods used in modern-day warfare proved extremely fascinating, whilst the everyday stories, humorous, pathetic and grotesque, were greatly enjoyed by all. At the end, cheers were heartily given for Lieutenant Fisher, and an eager crowd gathered round to examine booty from German 20s, a miscellaneous collection ranged from a heavy rifle with a throw-edge bayonet to a dilapidated tobacco pipe.
And the boys, and all boys from our school, what did war do to them?
Jack Petty, cricket captain, 1912.
Petty lived at the cottage, Cross Hills, and he came to us from Cross Hills School. He was a great debater and writer of letters, many of which have survived in Chronicles records.
Petty has captained the team most successfully and done a great deal by example and personal enthusiasm to make school games a success. He's been frequently unlucky with the bat, chiefly owing to an inclination to force the pace unnecessarily. However, he is good in the field and a fairly safe catch.
Lieutenant Jack Petty was awarded the Military Cross for leading one of the first bombing parties into Tea Park.
William Rodwell, head of school, 1915.
From a family well known at the school, William was himself a well-known personality. A hefty forward, he played for the school during the seasons 1913 to 1915.
Rodwell obtained a commission in the Durham Light Infantry and went out to France in May 1916. He was transferred to the Railway Tunnelling Company and was with them until the blowing up at the Messine Ridge. In October, he was on leave and came to the school, but was killed almost immediately afterwards. His death was instantaneous, as he was directly hit by a large piece of shell.
It is not easy to write of the passing of one such as Rodwell. He was the first old boy who was at the school when the war started to give his life, and our grief is made all the more poignant when we think of the jolly, cheerful youth, whom we all loved so well, but who was not to return.
His major said,
He was a dear boy, most popular in the mess, and will be greatly missed by all. I have known him for a long time, and can testify to his sterling value as an officer and man.
Rodwell did not live long enough to receive the Military Cross awarded to him. The citation read,
His courage and gallantry under dangerous underground conditions has been very marked, and he has done excellent work over a considerable period.
He was just 20 years old when he died.
J.P.Y. Dickey, school swimming champion.
Dickey is a batsman of the vigorous type, who score runs quickly and also when most needed. Good in the field, and at times sends down a really good, fast ball.
We congratulate Dickey on passing his Northern University's matriculation examination and wish him every success at Manchester University, where we expect him to secure honours for the school.
Dickey also won the swimming championship, securing all 3 senior events.
He was killed aged 22.
E. Jarrett, head of school 1914, cricket captain 1911.
Jarrett lived at 13 Belmont Bridge, Skipton, and came to us from Water Street School.
Jarrett has been very successful with the bat this season. He has good scoring, shots all around the wicket, his favourite being a hard forward cut past cover. Bowls a medium pace ball and keeps a good length, safe as a house in the field. He has captained the team with marked ability throughout the term.
Congratulations to Pete Jarrett on his admission to the Inns of Court Officer Training Corps, but we all miss him horribly in school life.
Lieutenant P. Jarrett, number 20, General Hospital, Camier, France, 3rd of August 1916. I'm in hospital. In the first place, I'm wounded. In the second, I've developed a fairly serious illness. I was in the advance from the beginning, and after most of the officers in my battalion had been knocked out. In a fortnight's time, I joined the list, being wounded in the knee by a shell during a bombing fight in the Leipzig redoubt.
Lieutenant Jarrett, after recovering from his wounds, was awarded the Military Cross on October the 26th for successfully carrying out an important night raid. We are sorry to hear that since then he has again been wounded.
He was just 19 when he died.
Alec Wilson, school swimming champion, cricketer, footballer, head of school 1913.
Second Lieutenant Alec Wilson was killed in action in Mesopotamia on March 26, 1917. He died as he lived, as a sportsman, as a Christian, as a gentleman, and as a patriot. His brothers Lionel and Douglas also took part in the same battle at Gaza. Colin and Alan, both saw action in France, while his sixth brother Leslie was a lieutenant on submarines.
J.C. McIntyre, captain of football 1911, three times cross-country runner 1910, 11 and 12, sports champion 1912, played regularly with Skipton RFC, took part in Yorkshire and Cumberland county trials, captain of St John's College, York.
As Lieutenant McIntyre with the 2nd Yorkshires, he took part in a big advance on Lewes, was wounded and taken prisoner. Information came from the Germans that he had died from a shattered thigh. He was just 24 years old when he died.
These are not isolated examples of the calibre of our old boys of Craven. The records are full of no such instances.
He was setting a fine example of fearlessness to his men at the time, dying instantly.
Lieutenant Colley was often over the top on dangerous night work, wiring up patrol work. Never excited, always cool and smiling. His platoon would have gone anywhere with him.
He was a perfectly splendid officer, with all the dash and gallantry which is so needed in these days.
Lieutenant John Granville Berry, Military Cross, was one of my finest men. I always knew that when he undertook a job, it would be carried out to the letter.
After 2 years of war, Chronicles was forced to say,
Perhaps one misses the great empty men of 60 years ago, but then of course we have not a man of military age or fitness left in the school.
and by 1917, the headmaster said,
The generation of schoolboys that was born has almost completely passed away in the fight to preserve for you and others the heritage of freedom, honour and justice which has been handed down to them.
Still, the boys at the school continued to fight and to die for their country.
Tom Bellamy, 2nd Lieutenant, King's Army for Lancaster Regiment.
Bellamy was one of the first 3 British to enter Baghdad after its capture from the Turks. He was killed shortly afterwards. His senior officer wrote to his father,
Your son was wounded in attacks on Turkish positions. With a party of men, he rushed into an enemy trench and held it. He was wounded in the hand, later in the head. We could not get him out until dusk, as the Turks' sniping was heavy. He was taken to hospital in Baghdad and appeared to be doing well. We were horrified to hear he had died of his wounds. He was a good soldier, loved by all his men, were unanimous in their praise of his brave actions that day.
A brother officer wrote,
Tom was a very great friend of mine. I shall never forget the cheerfulness and courage he always showed in the fighting out here. I used to call to see me hospital. He was extraordinarily cheerful, in spite of his bad wounds, and it came as a great shock to me that he had died, for I did not expect it. I went to his funeral in the English cemetery just outside Baghdad. Your son will never be forgotten by us, for he left a wonderful name for bravery and courage. I have lost a very great pal, one whom I can always rely upon.
He was 25 years old when he died. These were the men of Craven, the men of Ermysted.
Attention! Section! Forward march!
the First World War. Everyone knew the struggle against Hitler would be long and cruel, and at least 340 boys from the school went to fight for their country between 1939 and 1945, and 40 of them died. 7 DFCs, the highest award in the RAF, were awarded to the old boys of our school. There are 3 DFMs, 3 military medals, 2 military crosses, 1 Air Force medal, 1 credit girl, and 1 BEM.
Typifying the spirit and courage of Ermysted's old boys was Billy Pater, the head of school when war broke out. Pater was born on the 4th of December 1921 and was a resident of Skipton. He joined Ermysted on the 13th of September 1934 in the 2nd year, coming from Brougham Street School, Skipton. Although he was extremely bright, he always excelled on the sports field. He was captain of cricket. Against Bonalds and Gold Boys on the top, on June 17, 1939, Acer took 7 wickets, including a hat-trick. He was also captain of the rugby team and was an invaluable player on the pitch. Whatever sport Acer played, he was sure to excel in it. He became head of school, head of ethics, and was also a keen actor in the Dramatic Society's productions. He left school on the 22nd of July 1941 and joined the RAF. On the 10th of April 1943, he married Miss Gwendolyn Lucy Bolton at the parish church Skipton, and although they had a child, he never saw his son, also called Philip. Billy Pater was shot down over Germany and was killed in action. The cream of Britain's grammar school boys were among the 55,000 who died in bomber command.
During research for the Pageant of the school's history, we came across many people who had known those who gave their lives for the country. The stories they had to tell are fascinating, many of them are deeply moving, but because the memories are so vivid for so many people, we're not going to tell here the stories of our dead from the Second War. Suffice to say that names of Wing Ray, George Medlock, F.V. Harker, and the others who died live on. There are many here in Craven who have never forgotten them. Instead, we present the war as seen by RDP, writing the Chronicles in 1942.
Lambs gambol, bud shoot, lovers buy rings. Chancellor's proposed budget, keep string. I dig. My father is very patriotic. When the Digging for Victory campaign started after the war started, he decided it was time to start digging up our bulbs, herbaceous plants and perennials, and start putting in vegetables. There were too many starts in that sentence for good style, but the word seems expressive to me. It has a bitter southern sound that suits my mood about the old digging for victory process. You see, my father felt as he were busy with ARP 1939 and Home Guard 1940 onwards, he had not time to dig, and that boy were big enough to do something useful. And so I started digging for victory, and that started me trouble. I do not like digging. I feel as though I'm cut out for more intellectual processes. And although I do much for my country, I have no urge to push steel into its crust. Nevertheless, under influence of the vision of a martyred schoolboy gallantly subduing his talents to the cause of his racist larder, I dug, and I'm about to dig. Our garden has unsympathetic soil. I've seen soil into which a cricket stump will sink smoothly up to the edge, which is what I've heard called a good till. But it's not in our garden.
Our piece of England has a substratum of builder's slate on which rests the topsoil of clay, cement and clinker. In wet weather it binds into a soggy mass which gurgles when a spade slices it. In drought it breaks up into brittle spears of plaster, varying in size from golf to football. My father, he used not to impress me as a very intelligent man. But now I see, on his frequent home guard parades of a light evening, a subtle cunning I have not inherited. Our garden is bounded by a low wall. Everyone who passes can see me, and everyone who sees me speaks. Now, I'm not ashamed to be seen working with my hands, though I'm averse to my species. Indeed, I like a chat, but the inhabitants of our road do not chat. They barrack till they've learned a slogan. Miss Evelyn Warspite, who used to teach me years ago, and who covers up the chagrin of spinsterhood with a cheerful and whimsical humour, calls out rightly, "Digging for victory, Donald!" My name is Duncan. Then there is the vicar. He gets me name right, but he's original in nothing else, and as if pronouncing the truth from beyond the gravy booms. "Digging for victory! Good!" Then passes on. Mr. Ruggleton, who made a lot of money in the last war, and may be making more in this, so my father said, shuffles by on his way to the club. He blares at me, sniffs and croaks in what I suppose is a benevolent tone. "That's right, dig for victory, that's their stuff." Again uncertainly, I mumbled and made no real reply. These people wait for no reply. They merely display what my English master had called hard reactions to propaganda. Besides, what can I say? I'm not really digging for victory. I'm digging for peace in the home. People who pass look different, have different jobs, different incomes, different politics, different morals. But they all have the same notion of conversation. Sam Rigsworth, the sweep, who's only sober between 6 and 11 in the morning, Lears, hiccups and says, "What's they doing?" "Digging for victory." Jimmy Templar, of my form, sails past on his bike and calls, "Howdy, digging for victory." Mrs. Althwaite, the charwoman, Mrs. Sharper, the district nurse, Mr. James Shiner, and Brother John, undertakers, and generally known as Brasso and Silvo, Mr. Cheshire Bestwood, Esquire, J.P., Mr. Temple is a grocer, whose hair seems to have whitened since this rationing started, Mr. Cartington, the contractor, who goes to ditches in his Bentley, Dr. McHunter, and 1,000 others, all say in one accent or another, "Digging for victory!" All except Mr. DeLacy, the intellectual communist, who used to scowl at me, but since last June, he smiles. "Digging for Stalin, comrade!" And that is why I do not welcome the spring. And why the first who puts the question, this spring, is going to get a spadeful of England in his eye.
I wish to bring to your attention the splendid work of your son,
During the heavy fire from the enemy, on our last engagement on His Majesty's Motor Gunboat 329. Although the ship was ablaze, he was constantly working for the wounded. When the captain gave the order to abandon ship, he put 3 of the seriously injured overboard, exposing himself to many dangers. When on the carry float, he hung on to 2 of them until they died. During the 14 hours we were in the water, never once did he allow us to give up hope. When all seemed lost, he encouraged us to sing, although we were all tired and wounded. He is certainly worthy of our greatest praise, and it is with this that I convey to him my many thanks.
Sergeant Gunner J.D.B. Armstrong, RAF, was awarded the DFM for bravery, determination and resource displayed in heavy daylight attacks on Brest and Marseilles. Armstrong, who was the rear gunner of the bomber, was badly wounded on the return journey, but continued to find his gun and still with a fire in his turret. Lieutenant W.A. Feather, R.A., was awarded the George Medal, the highest possible award for conspicuous gallantry in bomb disposal work.
Flight Sergeant H.I. Poppy, RAF, was awarded a bar to his DFM. The citation read,
"This airman is a wireless operator and air gunner of an exceptional ability and has displayed great qualities of technical skill and reliability on attacks on Cologne, Kiel, Hamburg, Mannheim, Berlin, and in a daylight raid on Brest. His record has had an excellent effect on the whole squadron."
The Second World War showed us stoicism, a determination to see it through despite the hardships, as one of the old school rhymes ran, "On account of old Hitler, our ships will be littler."
Our attitude was nearly unromantic, no suggestions but noted.
But at least for the duration of the war, the amount of homework being given each evening should be strictly limited.
The governors were each sensible. Hit the light of concrete up from Paris to Moscow, as their report noted. The governors inspected the ARP trenches, which should be dug at the front of the school, and were alarmed at the dangerous state and depth of the water reflected therein. It was resolved that a letter be written to the ARP officer, repudiating any liability in case of an accident.
The headmaster was empowered to fix anti-splinter netting on the windows of the boarding house which he thought vulnerable. Whether he was worried about attacks from Hitler's bombers or by the boys is not recorded.
Practices and inspections of respirators were regularly held. The shelters under the boarding houses were very well equipped according to the chronicles, and boarders could lie down on a great variety of beds, ancient and modern. 30 boys and 5 monks of Barney Scott Brighton were evacuated here in 1940. As I entered the headmaster's study on September the 10th, I was immediately encouraged by the warm, friendly atmosphere. I was also attracted by the comfortable leather armchair, and as I sat in one, I did not think that 3 weeks later I should bend over it. There's a lot to learn about Ermysted's education. My worst impression of the school is the central quad inside the classroom block. It is really ugly and a poor contrast to the rest of the building. Many other boys, besides myself, think something ought to be done about it. On the whole, I like the school. I find the country boys much more friendly than the town boys. The Vardine boys, whose I saw in Skipton, surprisingly without any casualties, and we recently had a letter from them, wishing us well in our 500th anniversary celebrations. Strange things happened during the war, none other than this coincidence. An old boy at school, petty officer in Duxton, RN, saw a man in New Zealand reading the chronicles of Ermysted. A Constantine found him to be armed and found out an old boy in the school who was in the New Zealand Expeditionary Force. The war is seen by some of the boys. D-Day by J.M. 2A. A June day the world will remember. 'Twill be written in poetry and prose, when the armed might of Britain and Allies reached out to destroy their dread foes. A navy, an army and air force went over the channel that day, their attractive Normandy's beaches and whatever beyond them lay. The prayers of the people went with them, that they might carry the day.
The prayers of the people are answered, as the enemy's ranks gave way.
Salutes to our men by DM QA. Salutes to our men we give, to those who fought the British way, in every hour of night and day, to those that died that we may live. To all those brave and selfish men who fought the glorious British way, day after dull November day, to keep the Germans on our neck. A tribute give to all those men from the Nijmegen Bridge supplied. Some fought and lived, some fought and died. They helped defend the doomed Arnhem.
And when the end of the war came with victory in Europe Day 1945, members of 2A were there to celebrate.
I got ready for church and we set off. It was a nice service, not too long. I woke up feeling very happy. I jumped out of bed and after a wash felt sprightlier than ever. After a tasty breakfast with carrot sweet flakes, bacon and eggs, which I enjoyed very much, I went into town to the fish for dinner. After queuing for a while, I got a nice piece of tail end.
Meeting day was on the glum and drowsy up into the middle of the afternoon, after Hitler toppled over onto his bonfire to the cheers of the delighted audience. 3 times on the very day that his beloved Reich toppled over too. We returned to the glowing embers of our own fire.
I am 12 years of age, but I just started shouting and cheering like a little boy of 5.
On V night, people were dancing in the marketplace, while soldiers threw thunderclashes among the crowd, where panicking women ran to the labour for the band.
And now we enter the modern era.
Oh, God, yet another detention. Let's see. The 1920s, a most peculiar decade detention-wise. Wilson J.H. leaving ships in the bar.
Excuse me, sir. Was that chip, sir? Or was it slip, sir? Or was it...
Shut up! Oh, boy. New house, in for personal beautification in chemistry lessons. Not all for inappropriate use of the lavatory. While Edmondson and Waterfall, scoundrels, in for dirty books. Begin writing out the upsetting you stick. Italics. Of course, was that harmless fellow, not inappropriately named Nutter, in for bursting into song. Sad act, much better than breaking wind now, I think. Still. Sharp, of course, was different. Always thought himself a cut above the others. Yes, here it is. Attempting to hold a bridge party in class.
The absolute difference of it. Excuse me, sir, but you see, there's obviously been a huge mistake. You see, I had merely popped into the room to see if there were any notes on the blackboard I could make use of. When suddenly 4 lads rushed past me and thrust some playing cards into my hands. Imagine my surprise when I turned them over and found I was holding a guilty blush.
Sorry, boy, not sharp enough. Yes, sorry, decades of 20s, perhaps best reflected in that darkest of entries, written on the 8th of July 1924, third, detention for barlic conduct. How low can boys sit?
It's not fair, sir. I was just doing a physics experiment, sir.
Ray, using a catapult during singing? Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. I stretched the elastic tights and was watching the physics of the oscillations of the various notes. I was so fascinated I forgot to hold on.
And the music afterwards hits on the back of the neck. Good shot. Try, Ray. But don't you think you're stretching things a little too far? Sit down. Poor old Holmes, stuck in detention on March 26, 1932, for doing what the whole country was doing 10 years later, taking an undue interest in aeroplanes. Perhaps it was Shuttleworth's trial which best sums up the effect the whole decade had on all sensitive people. Shuttleworth, detention for talking to himself in class. I was only saying my prayers, sir. Oh. I believe you, my boy, I believe you. I was saying them myself. Although there was another war in the 40s, the traditional conflict between staff and boys continued with unremitting vigour. Bootman, Ball and Hogle, future solicitors surely, were exasperated for being found bereft of gas masks. Even first formers were not excused, and poor, pathetic forces of 1B served out his time in Roubaix having no respirator. Windle and Mitchell, however, were another thing altogether.
It wasn't really a booby trap, sir. Well, not the teacher anyway. Yes, sir. We were protecting schoolhouse, sir, in case of invasion, sir. The head doesn't usually walk down that way. We left him a note, sir, on his desk, sir, but he must have missed it. It wasn't that good, sir. I could see the top of his head. I tried to reason with him, but he just kept on snarling. So, we ran.
But not far enough. In the 1950s, as the country struggled from the war, Ermysted's detention room stoically continued to play host to misunderstood young boys. Here there was no tea and precious little sympathy, as the present chairman of the governing body will readily attest. On Wednesday, 3rd of March, 1954, one Whittaker R. of 3A found himself detained for talking across the classroom. Doubtless practising for a future career. 2 years later, Roubaix once again rejoiced in his presence, this time for an unexplained absence from a cross-country run. Whittaker, can you now explain that absence?
Sorry, we took the sky up again, sir.
Nothing changes. In September 1952, one Paley W.J., or 4 feet 1 inch in, quickly began his part-time career as a fitment in the detention room. Between 20th of May 1953, when he was late for the first period, I was framed. They left me in assembly. I'd done 2 paper rounds. I'd fallen asleep. Nobody noticed me down on the pipes. It was always warm in big school. They left me on purpose. Quiet! Between the 20th of May 1953 for the aforementioned crime and the 3rd of July 1957 when he was punished for interrupting a geography lesson, Haley W.J. served no less than 54 detention. It's not fair, sir. It's not fair. Just because I'm small, you all pick on me. It was just fun, sir. Dropping dandelions on Mr. Bangley's head from behind the blackboard. He didn't have to kick me. I think it's affected my brain, sir. I have a very short memory. Well, it stands to reason. I'm a very short boy. I just can't remember homework. I bring my dad in, only he's smaller than me. Why do you pick on plastic, sir? He's miles younger than me, and he smokes.
God! I've been here 40 years already! That's it! Do you realise that you've grown a beard and got Take your intentions, Captain!
Of course, sir.
Keeping your elders and betters.
What a gamma, sir?
A gamma in any subject signifies a marked lack of effort.
Oh, so they're not first badges then?
Certainly not. Why?
Well, when I was at Albion and I told him I'd been given gammas at school, he said it won a prize and it was very stickies.
You've been given gammas.
Yes, sir.
Detention, Capstick.
Sir.
Perhaps the challenge to authority so noticeable in this decade was fueled by that cosmic explosion in teenage music, rock and roll, that the music master was under severe and unnatural pressure at all times was witnessed by numerous entries into the book, culminating in the bleakly ironic priest attempting to make music on a mouth organ. However, Ermysted survived the worst that Wild Bill Haley and all his deranged successors could throw at it, and so into the 60s, which was strangely calm on the whole, reflecting, I suppose, the hippie philosophy, make love, not war. Heightened awareness in space and rocketry was duly mirrored in the book when a certain fox of 2A was grounded for conducting ballistic research in class.
Our Norbert took him in it, you watters. Got me home asleep. And he tells me to wake him at 5 to 4 if they're out.
Thank you, Fox. In 1961, the Australians broke on one of their periodical visits, and instantly the depth of passion always well stirred me for this character-building game was revealed. 7 members of 4C were sitting for conducting their own test match in their form room. It was never ascertained in which lesson the fixture took place, as the signature in the book is indecipherable. Presumably the teacher's side was losing. The 70s were a particularly active period of student revolt, with the chemistry lab under specific attack. In December 1978, Sykes of 5W was caught and punished for attempting arson in the lab. This entry was followed by the Tur's comment in an unknown hand, pity they never succeed. By way of natural balance, in early 1979, Addington and Law were banged up so that they may learn that the advanced chemistry laboratory is not an arena for aquatic sports. Indeed, the edges of the 70s all seem to point to personal imbalance in the pupil population as a whole. What can one make of?
Brown, LA, hiding yourself in a cupboard. Me.
Or,
nothing. Igniting his own sock in the classroom.
Or, take driving without due care and attention in the canteen. Or,
Lauka, failing to act as a reasonably organised human being.
That's right. Wandering around phone with evil intent. Lying about it. Thankfully, normative behaviour eventually broke through. Thompson, selling stink bombs to classmates. And, written I feel with intense resignation, Sanderson, the pea shooter season is upon us. Finally, to confirm this old past once again been recovered, Brown, pushing a younger boy into the canal.
I feel I've been victimised, sir. You see, going down to games along the canal bank, a midget first former came up to me and asked me the time. A heavily pregnant lady was coming along, pushing a pram containing twins. So naturally we stood aside to let her pass by. We were reflecting on the vicissitudes of life. As I raised my arm to take my watch, it accidentally brushed past the small boy's chest. And to my utmost amazement, he fell with a scream backwards into the water. I grabbed hold of his hair and pulled him out. Rescued him, sir. But he seemed to think...
Yes, thank you, Brown. I think I've got the picture. The 80s brought nothing new, just more variations on a single theme. Archetypal schoolboys being punished by archetypal schoolmasters. Soccer, practicing karate on litter bin outside the schoolroom. And William, 3C, playing the piano in the hall with his eating an unidentified species of fungus contrary to instructions. What kind of instructions could these have been? Finally, a possible admission about the subtext of it all. A schoolboy punished for daring to exist. Skipton, 7th of October 1990. Detention for being himself.
Definitely not fair, sir.
So, there you have it. So it goes on. It was ever thus, plus fashion, suivez la détention, etc., etc., etc. 5 centuries of us and them. 500 years of schoolboys and schoolmasters, with a sprinkling of mistresses here and there, seeking to prove. Brooksbank, 1p, 1992. No books, no manners, no sense. Yes, sir! It's all here in the big red book.
The school has come a long way since William Ermysted founded his school.
So the boys may be informed or drawn along to virtue and discipline, that the Commonwealth may from time to time not only have learned and wise men, but also men fearing God, knowing that which is divine and reverent.
It has come further still since Peter Toller founded his school.
To bathe my soul, and all Christian souls, and to help to do and maintain divine service in the said choir, and also to keep a grammar school to the children of the same town.
Since the war, we have witnessed the greatest period of change seen since 1700. As I said at the beginning, a school does not exist in isolation. It is a microcosm of the society in which it lives. And we are all aware of how much and how rapidly our society has changed and will continue to change. In the last 13 years alone, there have been 17 major educational initiatives, all of which have somehow to be implemented by the headmaster and his staff.
Change will continue. New syllabuses, new methods, new examinations, computers, inspectors, opt-in, opt-out, and even, most shocking of all, the advent of women. Yes, the first 2 permanent lady members of staff in the 500-year history of Ermysted School were appointed last September. It is confidently expected they will serve the usual minimum of 25 years service.
The staff of the school are as important to the success of Ermysted as the boys themselves, and since the time of Edward Hartley, the school has been blessed with a great number of dedicated career teachers, men who have given their teaching lives to Ermysteds. Men like Joseph Thornton, the brilliant young classics master of 1914, who joined the Lancashire Fusiliers and was killed in October 1918. A man of whom his fellow officers wrote,
"Nothing mattered to him quite so much as the lives of the men in his charge."
And whose epitaph in the Chronicles was,
"I did not let any man down."
Men like Wally Evans, who served the school with dedication and integrity for 39 years. In an unstable and rapidly changing world, this, ladies and gentlemen, is another reason why Ermysted School has survived for 500 years.
The HMI's inspection of the school in 1960 made the following conclusion.
The staff of the school developed considerable teaching power. They form a pleasant community with notably happy and effective relationships with the boys. The senior master continues to lend distinction to the school he has served for over 33 years.
And today, where does the school stand? Ermysted has now over 530 boys, a record number. The demand for places here increases each year. The Observer Good State School Guide says simply superb results. Last year, the Daily Mail placed us first in England in its survey of GCSE results. More modestly, we are content with the best state school in Yorkshire.
The future, who can say what it holds? Could Toller or Ermysted have ever predicted the events of the last 500 years and how they have affected the school? All we can say with certainty is that Ermysted School will face the challenges of the future, as it has faced those of the past, with confidence, with fortitude, and with determination.
privilege to have attended Ermysted School will understand what it means to be part of a unique tradition. You are an Ermysted's boy and an Ermysted's man for life. Here ends the first 500 years of Ermysted School. I would like to introduce to you the producer and writer of 501, Mr. David Clough.
I think there should be some very proud parents here tonight. Some of these boys have been absolutely outstanding. I'd like to, first of all, thank my right-hand man, Wilbur Paley. Secondly, I'd like to thank Chris Davies, the stage manager, who's somewhere at the back. The team of men who always do a brilliant job and never get any real thanks. Next, I'd like to thank the lighting crew. Makeup girls have gone home now, but we have a little presentation. Are they here? Oh, bring them down. I'd also like to thank my wife. I haven't seen me for about 3 months. She has to issue photographs of me to the children. Finally, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and basically I'd like to thank Sheila Moore. I hope you all go home happy, thinking that 500 years have passed, because certainly none of us will be around to see the second half. Thank you very much for coming.